Absolutely love the size of the head. That's what she said. Hey guys, what's going on? It's me, Destiny here, and today's video is going to be about some of my favorite foundation brushes. A few days ago I did a video about some of my favorite foundations, so I decided to do a favorite foundation brush video to go along with it. I get a lot of questions about natural hair versus synthetic, brushes versus fingers and sponges and all this type of thing. So if you're interested in that, then definitely stay tuned. Okay, so first I want to start off by saying what you apply your foundation with has a lot to do with the finish you're going for and then the type of foundation. If you're anything like me, then you love foundation, all different types, from creams to liquid and sometimes even powder. So every now and again I have to change up my foundation brushes. So I want to go ahead and show you one of my favorite ones to apply one of my favorite types of foundation. Favorite types of foundation are definitely liquid. So I want to go ahead and show you one of my favorite brushes to apply liquid with. This right here is a Sonia Kashuk brush, and I believe that this is a domed blush brush. I think that's the name of it. But I really like this because of the short but dense bristles. It really helps you to buff your foundation in good. It's very soft. I believe that these bristles are synthetic. Makeup brushes with synthetic bristles are better for cream and liquid products because you don't have to worry about the natural hair absorbing too much of the cream products, taking on too much of the color, or even just taking up too much of your product. And if you use expensive foundation, then you could appreciate that. Another brush that I like to use for foundation is my Sigma Fo5, and I really like this brush. Number one, it is really dense and it kind of reminds me of the MAC 109, and for a while everybody was on the MAC 109 craze. I went ahead and I found this and I really like it, again for the shape and the compact bristles that really help to buff in your foundation very well. I feel as though the shorter the bristles, the more power you're getting from them, the more they're going to blend and not just kind of sweep the product all over your face. So I really like the Fo5 for that. This is from Sigma. If you're not familiar with Sigma, I will have some information in the bottom bar. A few more of the brushes I will be using are from Sigma, so you can find them all in one place. If you're somebody who kind of likes cream foundation or thicker creamy foundations, then this is going to be a great brush for you. This is the e.l.f. flat top bronzer, or actually this is a powder brush. Who has a flat top bronzer? Sonia Kashuk actually has a flat top bronzer, but this one's actually a lot more inexpensive and you can find this at Target. I love the flat top for cream products. It really helps to blend them. It has a wide flat top, so you're pushing it in larger areas because cream is usually a lot more pigmented and you can get a lot more bang for your buck. So what I like to do is apply some cream to my hand and then apply some moisturizer or some primer, sometimes the both of them together, mix it on the back of my hand, and then really give my face a large buff over. I really like these type of brushes for that. Again, it's really inexpensive. This again is synthetic hair, so you won't have to worry about it eating up too much of your product or getting stained, again, because it is a black brush. And again, this is $3 from Target. Traditional foundation brushes such as these that look like large paintbrushes are good. I'm not really a big fan of using these for foundation. I really like to buff my foundation, and this one kind of gives you the sweeping back and forth. I like this kind of sometimes for under my eye area because I can pat and pull, and the tips are a little fluffy so you can blend it out. This is a synthetic brush, so this would be good for liquid and cream foundations. Again, this is a Sigma brush. This is their F60 foundation brush, and I do like these type of brushes. I just thought I would show you because this is the traditional foundation brush, and if you're shopping for makeup and you look for a foundation brush, you're probably going to go to the brush that says foundation brush. But you do not have to use this one for that. Just want to bring that out as a heads up. I really do like this brush. Not exactly for foundation, but it is an option you have. For a while, I was a big stippling fan. I was a really big stippling fan. I really liked the kind of pointillism type of effect it gives. You put some on your hand or on a palette, or you just pump some right up here and you bounce it all over your face. And it helps to create fine points all over your face that spread out and create a very natural looking finish for your foundation. This is great for liquid. You can use this with cream, but if you're going to use this with cream, you might kind of want to loosen the cream up a bit by mixing it with some moisturizer or some primer so you can kind of get it going on your face a lot easier. Usually creams you have to buff, but this is something that you stipple with, and you definitely do bounce this on your skin. You can swirl it first and then bounce it, but at some point you should be using the brush in a bouncing motion. That is how it is made to be used, and that is how it is also most effective. This is the Sigma Dual Fiber F50 brush. So for you girls out there who like powder foundation, I definitely recommend you use a kabuki brush or something like this. Something fluffy that is tapered very well, and something that is also, it can actually be synthetic or human hair. Some people have a preference for one over the other. I think with powder, if it's a good brush, you can use synthetic or human. But if it's not the best brush and the best brush brand, you may want to look into a human hair brush, simply because sometimes synthetic brushes and human brushes are not cut really well, and then you go to rub them into your product and it's making the product fly everywhere because it's cut harsh. So you want to look for a good brush. This is my Makeup Forever kabuki. This is one of my first kabuki brushes and definitely one of my favorite. Sephora also makes a very, very nice kabuki brush. And then of course I have a really nice one here from BH Cosmetics that is, I actually think, considered a powder brush, but you can use it for powder foundation, you can use it for setting powder, you can use it for blush, you can use it for quite a few things. Another thing I actually like to use these fluffy brushes for is liquid foundation, because in a way you can use this as a stippling brush. It has all these hairs on here, so if you were to dip it lightly into your foundation, you could buff it and then go all over it and create those pores and that natural look to your foundation. That really helps makeup go from looking like makeup to great skin. Okay, so now let's talk about the brushes that you were born with, your hands. I think your hands can be used with any type of foundation, with the exception of powder. I wouldn't apply powder foundation with my fingers because it's powder and your fingers are skin and they're going to change the consistency of the powder and all these good things. So with the heat in your fingers, you definitely want to take that heat and use it toward liquid and cream foundation and concealers. It really gives your skin that second skin type of effect, but it could also work against you. So if you're not exfoliating and you're trying to apply foundation with your fingers, it may not absorb into your skin very well, and what you're going to have is that foundation sitting on top of your skin type of effect, and then you may also get some fingerprints on your face. I've seen that. I've seen it. But I think that people really want that very natural look. So you're going to want to have the foundation in your hands and warm it up on your face, and then you can really push it in and tap and blend and pull and push and really go for that very, very natural look. Making sure your hands are always clean first, and also making sure that you're not dipping your fingers into your foundation. Definitely pour it onto another object, a palette, a blank CD case, the back of your hand or something like that, if you're going to work with your fingers. Last but not least, I have here beauty blending sponges, and I absolutely love beauty blending sponges for applying foundation. The only type of foundation I don't like to use beauty blending sponges for is expensive foundation, because this is a sponge. The main purpose of a sponge is to absorb, and that is one of the biggest things I have to say about when you're using the beauty blending sponge. If you don't want it to absorb up too much of your foundation, do make sure you're using it properly by submerging it into water and making sure it absorbs some water, not sopping wet, but you should use it while it's damp with water, and then you take some of your foundation and you blend it and you tap this all over your face. You don't have to look out for the original. I definitely think most beauty blending sponges are really great. The only thing I don't like about these two here is they're not very soft. This one's from Target, this one's from Ulta. They're both great and I really, really like them. And I also have one more that I got from Target here, and it has a brush on the end, which is actually also a great foundation and under the eye brush. Synthetic, and it's a dome shape, so you can really get in there and blend it and do a whole bunch of other things. But yes, beauty blending sponges are really, really great for applying foundation if you're going to use it with cream. definitely take some of the cream first, mix it with some foundation, mix it with some moisturizer or some primer or something like that to kind of loosen it up, and then you can get it on the sponge and you're gonna have to work and really pound that into your face if it's cream, because cream is a little bit more resistant to sponges, but it goes on really well and it absorbs a lot less than liquid foundations. So last but not least, I'm gonna go ahead and let you guys know what my favorite method of applying my foundation is right now. So I would definitely have to say that I'm a brush girl. Well, right now I'm a brush girl. Sometimes I'm a sponge girl, and sometimes I'm a finger girl, and sometimes I'm a no foundation whatsoever, just eyebrows and mascara girl. But I definitely have to say that these Sonia Kashuk brushes are some of my favorite brushes. I absolutely love the size of the head. I love the shape of it. I love how it blends. I love how dense they are. I like the prices of these brushes. It's kind of similar to my Sigma. This is my Fo5 brush. So I'm really into these little type of brushes right now. MAC 109. I'm really into it right now. I really like to take maybe some of my NARS and I'll put it on my hand, and then I'll take some more of my heavy foundation. Like today I have on Makeup Forever Matte Velvet Plus, and I'll mix that up on the back of my hand and just really whip it back and forth, and then I'll just blend it to perfection on my face. And in certain areas I will stipple with it and just really go for that coverage that I like. Now my least favorite to apply my foundation would have to be, like I said, with the traditional foundation brush. I don't feel as though it gives you enough motion, but you know, one woman's trash is another woman's treasure, so I definitely recommend you go out and try as many things as possible. Some really inexpensive brands are Sigma, BH Cosmetics, Walmart has some great brushes. You always want to stay up on Outlook and all these inexpensive like subscription sites. Every now and again they have all these different brush companies. I can't remember the names off the top of my head. There's so many that are shooting right now besides BH Cosmetics, in Sigma, Crown brushes, Royal and Land Nickel. You want to just stay up on the discount sites because they pop up every now and again. Definitely look on eBay. Be careful of those MAC brushes on eBay. They're fake. 98% of the time they're fake. If they're too good to be true, it's probably too good to be true. Alright guys, as always, I want to thank you so much for commenting, rating, and subscribing. I will be in touch and hopefully you'll do the same. Bye!